I am making a big soup. I better simmer that down. This will last me 2 weeks. My son brought over a heap of meat and I'm thawing that out. See how thick it is? That will all boil down and break down. I've chucked in anything. I chucked in some of these noodle things. What are these? Them shell things. Whatever they are. And some herbs from my garden. Rosemary and garlic chives. I've got basil out there. I'll put that in soon. And that's the food my son got me, plus all of that in there. So this is going to last me a long time. So 2 in every 2 weeks. And I've got a lot of food for soups and my dishes. I used this old thing, you know, seeing these on TV? It's really good. I still use it for chips and cutting up veggies. Those round things are zucchinis. The first time I knew about many vegetables like zucchinis, I was over 21. I was 21 and a bit because of my brain damage. I was sent back 3 years. It was 3 weeks to me, 2 weeks or something, but it was actually about 3 years, or give or take a few months. And I chucked in heaps of potatoes. I used that to do it. I just washed it. It's very old. I'm thinking about getting a new, clean, brand newie, because this one's getting stained. And this didn't even fit it. It's sort of like buckled from the heat here. I don't know why it's buckled from the heat, but it still works. So, and I made a cake. Not much of a cake, but I cooked it in my bread maker. You can cook jams and bread and cakes. You can cook anything really in it, whatever you want to your imagination. Lots of pepper and salt and garlic. I emptied my garlic tray out. My garlic container, my minced garlic's emptied. And I dropped the lid, washed it out, rinsed it and put the rest of it in the soup so it got every little bit. And now it is going to simmer, so the lid to it is right here with everything falling to pieces, dropping. There we go. We'll simmer that. Pour these out. And chuck them in. They'll cook into it. They're a smoky flavour, so it's going to be a smoky flavoured soup. And that will last me 2 weeks. I can have it with meals or by themselves with toast at night, which is yummy. Those boxes I've got to chop up. This property inspection today. So I hid all my secret things like that, my wands, my old broom and stick is hidden away in here because I don't want people looking at them and commenting or whatever. So I don't have drawers in my cupboard. I've got to buy them, camping ones. So that's still that's still thingy. I cleaned up the top because that was full of dust up there. Probably still is some more I missed. Couldn't reach, but I will reach it one day. And I forgot to do the tops of them up there on the skirt board things, whatever they're called. And I forgot to dust up there, but I'm going to do that later, maybe tomorrow. And on top of the air conditioner, which is freezing. By the way, it's very old, but it's freezing. I don't use it much. And I've got to wipe down these blinds, give that a dust. That's basically it. And then I start all over again. Toilet, bathroom, sinks, floors, kitchen, fridge, cupboards. Dusting up there. Dust around the TV, computer, blah, 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 blah. Carpet. Do under that chair. And spray it. And then start all over again. And maybe do outside as well. So I've got to chuck all that into my... I want to do this because it's exercise for me. Oh, this is Vampire Diaries. I'm going to pause it. So I don't want to miss it. So lucky, I had a heap of old soup. It was still a bit, it just thawed out, so I thought, no, it's thawed out, I'll throw it away. But instead of throwing it away, I fed him. He is always skinny, but he eats a lot. And he's turning his back on me because he's guarding the place. He thinks he's a giant watchdog, but he's actually only 8 inches tall. To the back, I think, and to the head, I'd say he's over a foot. 1.5 foot maybe. I don't know. He's small anyway. And I have my vaporizer on, changing colours. And I brought the old bathroom mirror in and turned it into a secret compartment with my candle holders and some masks for, you know, COVID things. These are hemp seed oil. It's really good, keeps me going, otherwise I have no energy. I don't know what that is. What is that? Oh yes, Panadol, the other Panadol thing. Some jewellery, some candles. My son Leon won a lot of trophies. I've got them in the travels. They broke. I've got to glue them back, and some of them didn't break. So, but I've got a bag there ready to, with the glue in it, ready to glue it. But I need a day where I'm going to be comfortable with no visitors. Like I had a lot of people here, and I had to wait for the property inspection because it's a new real estate as well. They need to take photos of everything so they can match the photos in another 10 years. So I've been here something like 11 years. A long time anyway, a very, 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 very long time. And I don't have much to show for it. The lounge is only a few years old. That bed, my cat used to sleep on it. And that was brand new once upon a time. But I've only used it a few times. My old TV that's something like 15 years old and still works really well, maybe longer. That's a vacuum cleaner that worker blew up. Doesn't vacuum anymore, it just blows smoke and all the dust and everything goes out. I've I've got to clean my room and it's getting dark. So, which you don't see, but that's the natural light. Because I can make this camera brighter. It's like night vision. It's a P30. Huawei P30. So it just makes it lighter when I zoom in, or I can just put it back to normal. But you can have it light so you can see a bit better. But you can tell it's getting dark. I've got the aircon on. It's really hot with that soup. So I'm going to put it on fan because, oh, it is on fan. It's strange, isn't it? Right, I'll turn it off. So my bike is charged up. I've changed it off and put it in the box behind there, which is that old box that's like 20, 30 years old, that box. There's my car fridge waiting for me to put it in the car, and I keep forgetting. I'm a dodo, and Lucky is doing his guarding. He thinks he's a giant Rottweiler or Doberman Pinscher. Don't you, Lucky? And his ears are tentacles. Not tentacles, aerial things, you know, wires, listening things. He thinks he's a watchdog. So anyway, that's my soup. I've only got a heap of carrots. Because when you get older, your teeth get a bit worn, and I love raw food, raw vegetables, raw fruit. I love raw cabbage, carrots. I love to eat raw peas, beans, all those sort of things, everything raw. I love it. But when you get older, your teeth get a bit worn, so I have to cook it. And it's all going in there. And I don't think you can eat zucchini raw. I haven't tried it. I've always fried it out or boiled it. So it goes in there. Later on, I might put more potatoes in when it wears out, when it boils down a bit. That's basically all I have is for my soup to last me 2 weeks. I put it in big containers. I have that big white container there, that's very big. And this one here with a lid on it works well in the freezer, which I won't have room to put on. I will be able to put them like in the drawers here. There's nothing else in here because I've got the steak in there I pulled out, and I've eaten all the garlic bread and other yummies, and I'm down to just the meat for payday in a few days. So if I put these in the drawer like that, I can put a big container in top, and the big soup one in. It'll take up all the space there because it's only a little freezer. It's going to be hard to balance them, but it'll work out. Plus I can fit some on the side because it's a round bowl. Oh gosh, slip a lot. And I've still got my emergency food with lots of stuff there, and all that big rice and other things as well. That's for emergencies, which is not my style at the moment. It is when it's emergency, it's all yum. So anyway, all the pots are clean. That's my cooking oil. As you can see, it's all burnt from the heat. That's my deep fry oil. I air the lid out now and again because every 2 weeks I buy new oil, which it is getting low. That's for deep frying and frying. And I use, you know, that one, olive oil. I use that for frying, mainly, you know, low, small, shallow frying, like frying steak or chops, something like that. So, I think maybe next time after Friday I will show you what I do with my aloe vera sitting out there for my antibiotics when I'm sick. I do not use it every day. I only use it for worming. I worm my dog with it. I mix it in their food, and I worm myself when I need it. And it's a good antibiotic when I had my liver. Oh, sorry, kidney. Kidney was stabbed that time. I was stabbed in the belly too. I still got the scar in the belly. That helped because the antibiotics they gave me didn't work. Because really, I don't think they were really proper antibiotics, because the woman that sold them to me at the chemist, I gave her the prescription, and she said that, do you want the cheap version? And I said, does it have all the stuff in it? She said, yeah, but it's missing. And I said, what? Does it have all the stuff in it or not? And she said, yes, but it, and she just stood there. And I thought, what's going on here? What's wrong with this girl? I've seen her before too. She looks pretty familiar. And she's just standing there. And so I realised when I took them for 2 weeks, they didn't work because they were missing something. And she wanted to tell me and didn't. She chose not to. It's her problem, not mine. So I got into this aloe vera, and then I got hurt again in my kidney. I went to the hospital, and they treated me very badly. And one nurse was yelling at me, demanding I tell her how I healed myself from constipation. And I realised the pills they gave me caused constipation. They weren't antibiotics at all. And she kept yelling at me, how did you do it? I said, look, I just used a plant. And she said, what plant? I said, aloe vera. She said, what is it? I said, a plant. She said, what is it? I said, it's a plant. She said, what is it? What did you do with it? How did you do it? What is it? Is it a pill? I said, it's a plant. And she said, what do you do with it? I said, I harvest it. She said, what do you do with it? I said, I harvest it. And this went on for a few minutes. And then I got the picture. She's not going to shut up. So I said, look, all I do is I harvest it. I cut the skin off, and I make sure all the green skin's off it. I soak it in water until the water turns, you know, I didn't say anything more about the colour of the water. I said, I just soaked the plant in the water, and then she said, what do you do next? I said, I grind it up and mix it in drinks. And she heavily drugged me, and I couldn't walk. And she kept saying, do you always use a walking stick? I thought, what the fuck? I don't use walking sticks. What is this wrong with this woman? And she dragged me outside to sit next to a guy with a walking stick. And I said, no. I want to be left alone, please. And I couldn't walk, so she helped me over to a seat by myself. And I fell asleep, so I don't know what people were doing to my handbag or me. And they were all coughing and sick, so I got sick. And I called that assault. I told the hospital, and I complained, and I said, look, that's assault. I could spit on your nurse. And they said, do you know that's assault? I said, yes. Do you know that coughing on someone is assault also? Or dumping them near people that are coughing is also assault? You know, she's not the oh, poor girl, poor India girl. It's what about me case. You know, I exist. Just because I'm old, it doesn't mean that yous aren't going to get old. And the way time's changing with the hatred for old people, giving them double injections of that Pfizer thing because they hate old people and getting away with murder. Just because you're young doing that, it doesn't mean you're not going to get old. Because you'll get old and people will do the same thing to you because they'll talk to you and you'll say, oh, I worked at this and that and I helped and I had an accident and that happens, and they'll do it to you and they'll call it an accident because seeing they can get away with it. In Australia you can murder old people like that and get away with it. And you can dump them out in the heat with no water at 45 degrees heat, no water, in a wheelchair, these old people, and you can kill them and get away with it. That's what people have been doing. Or they just abuse them in the nursing care units where other countries don't. They don't have as much abuse. Every elderly place in Australia is abusive. There's a few good named ones, but you can't get into them because they're full. The rest are just all abusive people that hate older people and use them for anything and get away with it. And they don't think anything of it. They'll sleep well. They have no remorse, no guilt, nothing. Not a thing. So I'm thinking maybe Australia doesn't want to be living longer than certain ages. Maybe they want to die at a certain age because it's too old in their view. So maybe they're giving the message that's what's going to happen. You know, they're going to just keep killing off people or cause something like that will just keep permanently doing it, killing off old people at a certain age. And other countries will live longer years, except for Australia, because they look after their elderly and they try medications to keep them strong and healthy and keep living sexually and physically and mentally active, so they can live longer, so the human race can live longer. But Australia does not want to live longer. They only like young people, which is a bit of diseased pedophilia there, isn't it? It's not good. It's not a good country to be like that. Not good at all. But, you know, I'm no judge or jewelry. Jewelry. I'm no judge or jury. Anyway, all right. Have a good night. I'm going to keep cooking my soup and watch a movie. Finish my, what's it called? Vampire Diaries. Night-night. Later.